So what's up everybody, Black Clover 342 official translations are out. I waited to the officials because the fan translations were kind of like wonky in a way. It was saying that Yami's clan needed the demon sword, and then another one was saying something about Yami might be the demon slayer of the family, and then the official said the demon god title. So obviously I went with the officials. This chapter was very interesting. It was very informational. We got to learn more about Yami's clan. Also, I will be speaking about certain points that were kind of hints as to what I've been talking for a long time, and also maybe a little bit indicators as to what's going to happen in the future. So let's get into my Black Clover 342 review / analysis. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, so you should hit me with some false copyright strikes. So let's get this channel back to 5,000. Check out the Discord. So the beginning of the chapter is just Ichigo explaining 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚅 about the Yami clan. They are descendants of a group of assassins named the Kinjin. They made a name for themselves on the battlefield. So it makes sense as to why Yami's clan has affinity with darkness, and also why Yami means darkness assassins. They use the night to their advantage. The other part of it was very interesting to me on page 2 is the legend of the 5-headed dragon that went rampage on the land, and the dragon was basically put at ease or defeated by this divine maiden or heavenly maiden. And also we learned that the territory at the far edge of the land of the rising sun was ruled by Ryu's family. Yami's clan has been the security of that land and also of Ryu's family, which is all interesting. Going back to the part of the 5-headed dragon, I actually did some research on it, and it's based on a Japanese mythology about a 5-headed dragon that caused hardships in his surrounding areas, and then eventually a divine goddess was able to soothe the dragon's rage, and with that she was able to raise a large landmass from the ocean to serve it as her dwelling. Eventually the dragon actually fell for the beauty of this divine goddess. He fell in love with her, but she rejected his proposal as punishment for all the adversity and all the issues that he brought to humbling fishing communities, which is very funny because in the flashback, and also from what we remember of Yami, is that apparently he got lost in a fishing trip. We saw Yami fishing in this chapter, so there's a connection to this mythology. In the Japanese mythos, this divine goddess raised in landmass from the ocean and called it her dwelling. It's kind of interesting how this far edge of the land of rising sun, this island that the Ryo family was in charge of, ended up being basically where the shogun is from now, because Ryo was able to unify the land of the rising sun. So that's interesting. Also in the legend it said that the dragon in repentance became a dormant part of the island, which it was going on rampage at one point. It was called the Dragon Hill. The goddess that actually calmed down the dragon was the goddess of literature, music, wealth, and femininity. Interesting, right? Because in this chapter we saw that Yami's sister apparently looks like Yami's mother. I wonder if there's a connection there, as well as from what it looks like, could have Yami's dad represented that 5-headed dragon, and then Yami's mom could represent the divine maiden. Who knows? But to me it's kind of indicating more that there is divinity in Black Clover, and I've been talking about this for a long time. At this point there's no way there's no divine race in Black Clover. There's just too many hints. Going back to Ichigo's flashback, it was said that the Ryu or the mana of the dragon seeped out and turned the ocean black, and making it basically a portal connecting it to the underworld or hell. And then we see Yami's father. This is the part that I was actually trying to wait until the officials come out, because this part was kind of weird in the fan translations that I read. Yami's father is basically a drunk. He's mad that he comes from a big family, but he's stationed in the middle of nowhere to basically guard this territory, and he's saying that this is a position for watchdogs. Basically it looks like he just hit Yami, and Yami says to his father, the only person that speaks like that is you. Going back to the part of Yami's sister looking like their mother, it looks like Yami's family might not have the highest regards to women, and if there is a regards to women, it looks like Yami's clan only want women that fight and not women that are like mothers per se. So I wonder if Yami's mother wasn't actually from the clan, but Yami's dad was just about to attack Ichigo, and Yami stops the attack. These two panels is what I was talking about. So Yami's father says the Lord's son has a lot of Ryoku, which is basically mana. I bet yours is the top of his. So we know that Ryu is the son of the Lord that he's speaking of, unless Ryu has another brother, but we know now that Ryu does not have have mana. He said that he doesn't have mana. So what is he referring to? Did Ryu have an older brother that was supposed to be the Shogun, but somehow he died? Or is it possible that when Ryu decided to get that 𝚤𝚙𝚙𝚅 or that eye, he had to give up all his mana? There's probably some type of weird exchange that Ryu had to do to attain that power, and that exchange ended up him being manaless. Yami's father says, the title of the demon god, our clan's strongest fighter, is gonna be yours. Yami's father said that to him, and if you think about it, the demon god, I wonder what connection Yami's family has with demons, because it's stated there that there's some type of demon god that's the title that's worshipped in their family. So family traditions come from somewhere. Somebody in Yami's ancestry did some foul stuff. That's what I'm thinking. Like I said before, they probably have a connection to that five-headed dragon, because basically the water turned black, similar to their magic. So I wonder if there's a connection with them. Maybe Yami's clan is descendants of that demon that might have mated with a human. Who knows? Because Gray tried to heal Yami when he came out of the Tree of Cliff-Off ritual. It looked like he had a devil heart, and then he got back up like nothing, even though Gray had no idea how she healed him or if she healed him at all. So maybe that's an indication that Yami's clan, Yami's family has a connection to demonic forces. We see that Yami fishes a fish, and that fish looks weird. That fish has little horns on it. Of course, if Yami's eating those fish and their family's eating that fish, wouldn't that weird fish make Yami's family mutate in a certain way? I don't know. There's something there that's a little bit weird. Ryu comes in and basically says that he wants a country where people can live and laugh together no matter what their rank is or their magical power looks like. So that sounds very similar to what Asta would like. So it's cool that Asta also has no mana similar to Ryu. They have this like same ideology in a sense. I really like that. Maybe the reason why Yami was so favorable towards Asta is because Asta reminded him of Ryu. Yami said, it's a load of crap to what you're saying, but it would be nice if it happens. And then you go back to where Ichigo and Asta are talking. Ichigo says, even though Yami said that, he was lying, because just like our father said, he was the demon god. Even worse, at the age of 13, he massacred his whole entire family. So Yami attained that title of the demon god, whatever that has to do with his clan, and basically proved his father right. But even worse, he literally massacred his own family. And I think it might have to do with either Yami's family tried to actually assassinate Ichigo and he was just standing up for her, or maybe they wanted to do a rebellion against Ryu's family. There's so much aspects to it, but I literally think Yami might have been possessed at that moment, either by a typical creature from the underworld or a Oni from what we know in Japanese mythology. That's probably what happened. However, Ichigo continues to say he abandoned us and fled, and he's been living the easy life overseas with you people. You trust a man like him? That makes no sense. And Asta is like, I can't believe what you're saying. I'll never see Captain Yami actually do that. There has to be some type of mistake. Ichigo is completely mad, saying, you know nothing, you ignorant fool. I saw with my own eyes. And Asta is like, nah. As my boy Yami, you can't talk bad about him. I'm gonna continue having his back regardless of what you say and what happens. Ichigo's like, alright, if that's the case, the training will continue just as you wanted, but I'll get serious. I don't care if you die. Ichigo pulls out her scroll. She does basically a dark magic armor similar to Asta's anti-magic armor when he does the Devil Union, and it's called Dark Jojutsu, Dark Clothing Black Warrior. Ichigo's basically saying, don't blame me if you die. And that's the end of the chapter. This was a good chapter. It's very informational. I'm telling y'all, that piece of legend is gonna have some significance in the story. Tabata wouldn't throw that in the story without a reason, so keep an eye out for that. Also, like I said before, I think this demon god title has something to do with that portal to the underworld that apparently is connected with that ocean by where Yami and Ryu was fishing, that island that they're from. So I'm pretty sure something is gonna happen moving forward with that plot point. I'm telling y'all, this chapter is more information than y'all think. But that's basically all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, like the video. Let me know what you think about this chapter. Do you like Ichigo's new armor? Do you think Yami's clan has something to do with that five-headed dragon? Do you think this is further proof that there is a divine race in Black Clover? Do you think that black ocean or that black water and those fishes that look like they have some horns or they're part devil eventually inflicted into Yami and his clan having some type of affinity with the underworld? Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.